Hey guys, if you're enjoying the show and listening to us talk about what needs to be said in surfing, then please do us a favour and chuck us a follow wherever you get your podcast fix.
You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and all the rest. The best part about it, it's going to cost you absolutely nothing. That way we can keep bringing you the goods. You can also find some of our stuff on Instagram and TikTok where we throw up some extras. So please tune into those.
Our handle on that is at the Largo Podcast. And once again, thanks for listening. Enjoy the show.
Finley James, welcome back to the pod room. Happy to have you back.
Happy to be here, mate.
It's always good when we're in person. This is episode 47 today. Proudly brought to you by our friends at Macaroni's Surf Resort. It's kind of the one-stop shop, really. You get good waves, beers by the pool, and can even get some coaching while you're there. So thank you guys for helping us out here at the Largo Podcast.
Thank you, legends. What's been going on in your world, mate? I know you've had a big weekend.
I just went overseas.
Yeah,
Technically left the mainland shores of Australia and went to North Stradbroke Island for the Stratty Invitational, I think that's what it's called now.
Yep.
If you're not familiar, it's a Board Riders Club event. Mm-hmm. So I think it's Lebar's actually, Lennox Ballan is the most south of the clubs. Yep. And then it's everyone from Noosa down, I think it is. Mm-hmm. So I think there's about 25 clubs that go over every year. It's kind of, this year was 40th year.
Wow.
Of the event going. So yeah, it was good. Got to hang out with the Lebar crew, which is good, but we didn't go too well. Got 7th overall.
It's not too bad.
It's not too bad. It's above the middle of the pack. We beat Byron Board Riders, which is always good. There's always a friendly rivalry between shouldering clubs, I feel.
Yep.
So we got the win over Byron Board Riders, but surprise, surprise, Snapper Board Riders won for it feels like the 10th or 11th time in a row. I don't know what they're feeding their kids there.
Mate, I'll tell you what, they didn't win last year because we actually beat them. We got second last year. Tied with Snapper, but we won on the count back. So I know that for a fact. They're not always up the top, but they are generally in these Board Riders events the team to beat. They don't usually lose a lot of heats, and in these things, it's heat wins pretty well, across the board. If you get any fourths or thirds, you probably can't win.
It's tough.
You got to have the worst result. You probably run a third if everyone else wins and maybe you get a couple seconds. But I think last year when we did it, I think Noosa might have won or someone like that.
Kawana, I think it was.
Kawana, maybe.
I don't even know where that is.
I think it's up that way. It's up around Noosa areas. And they had they were so far in front. We got second. I was the last heat. I had to come second in my heat. And
this one was clutch. This was actually... We spoke about your heat this year.
There you go.
That's how clutch this was.
It was the worst clutch of all time, though. I think I had 2 fours, but it was enough. We had to beat Snapper by 2 positions in the heat to come second. And I got second on my last wave, and I think it was Dexter Muskins. He had a melt, and he came 4th, and we ended up getting the nod over him. But
I can't believe out of everyone in our team, we put all the weight on your shoulders. You had to go out and get an objective result. And you fucking did it. And you did it. It was so sick.
Famously not good with any kind of pressure, but we did all right there.
Seemed to work that time.
Yeah, but yeah, for the team you had this year, everyone was capable in the team, but it wasn't our best by a long ways. We obviously can have any range of people from Mikey McDonough to Stewie Kennedy to Woody to Adam Melling. We didn't have them last year. And a few of the guys like Harry O'Brien and Ken and Chris, a couple of staples that we usually run with, they couldn't do it this year either. So
correct.
For you guys to roll in it with a team that wasn't optimal and still come away with 7th is pretty good.
Yeah, well, we actually were thinking about if we could build our dream team, technically off members in the club. I think it was something like, it'd be James Wood as the over 35, Con O'Leary, the Beagle.
Yeah, it's true. Mars,
Mars.
probably yourself.
I wouldn't make the card.
I
I'd be out.
don't think so.
And then would have like a Maxi McGilvery for the junior, and maybe Ashton Crowley for the cadet or junior, whatever it's called. But yeah, it was we could definitely have a high pedigree team put in. But yeah, it's just the way it kind of all crumbled this year. Not many crew around, hence why I surfed. I came out of retirement.
Yeah, but you surfed last year and you surfed good last year.
No, last year, remember I was on the Sunday and it was like 4 foot hacking southerly at Point Lookout, and it was like almost, think of going surfing at Nazare onshore.
Yeah, it was gross. I had to surf that day too. It was feral. But it looked like the waves were really good this year. It looked really fun.
Pumping.
Yeah.
Absolutely cooking. They actually had to run the event over 2 days instead of 3 because the Sunday was horrendous. So shout out to them. But I did something pretty criminal in my heat.
What did you do?
I did the worst snake I think I've done in ages.
That's play on, mate. I don't feel bad about that.
A non-priority heat, and I took full advantage. I just got a wave. I just paddled out. And you know when like a beach break's real peaky? Like if you're 5 meters that way or 5 meters the other way, you can be off like by a country mile.
Yeah.
This thing just TP'd straight towards me, and this guy was like, 3 meters adjacent. And it was a left. There was no like ifs or buts. And I was on like the good side, like the deep side to like backdoor it. Oh man, I just looked at him. I almost felt like saying sorry paddling in. He just knew, like I would have been probably splashing him.
Yeah.
If someone did that to me, I would have splashed him on the way in. Anyway, I got one of the nicer visions I've had in a while. Turns out it felt nicer than what it looked because I was thinking 9s and I got a 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What?
Well, then when I went in and debriefed it and replayed it in my head, I was like, you know what? I think it is a 4. I was just frothing. I haven't seen the inside of a cone in a long time.
Yeah.
Especially spring conditions. Summer, autumn, winter, spring. Yeah, we got spring conditions.
It's gross right now. It's really bad. That's completely play on in my book. If you're non-priority heat, you got to be the biggest just bastard you possibly can. And I think that's completely
It mimicked our first Lee bar of the year with you and Stewie Kennedy. When that wave came, he had been waiting for longer, but you were in the right spot for the wave.
Yeah. Yeah, we put that one. I think we've mentioned this one before, but yeah, I think like in a non-priority heat, like you just say, I do apologize at the end, but like if I'll come in and say sorry for being a wanker, but I'm happy to do it when I'm in the heat, and it doesn't make me feel bad at all. Until after the heat.
Then don't be sorry. Own that thing. Just be like, nah, fuck you, Stewie.
Yeah. Or not even like necessarily Stewie, but any of these like non-priority board riders things we do. I'm just like, I'd rather them look like a fool in front of their club than me come in and see everyone else be sad and be
you got to hang out with your club for the next 2 days.
I'm happy to make a few enemies and then try and maybe have a beer with them after and ask for forgiveness, not permission, if that makes sense.
No, it does make sense. I just wanted to highlight that I think I've said it before in the podcast that Australia has the highest caliber surfers on the planet.
Yeah.
So this is the Stratty Invitational. For our listeners in Sydney or Western Australia or Sri Lanka, wherever they are, they probably don't even know about this comp because it is, like in all honesty, like it's pretty prestigious for the clubs, but it's not a big event for the surfing calendar of the year.
No.
So this is one of the heats that was on the Friday, and it's over 35s. It's not. I wouldn't say that's the Premier Division. Opens is usually your Premier Division because it's between 18 and 35.
Yeah,
everyone's at the peak. Mm-hmm. So this is the over 35s. It was Lincoln Taylor, Ricardo Christie, Nick Vasicek and Jay Bottle Thompson. So you've got 2 XCT surfers in there, Rick Christie and Bottle. Then you've got Nick Vass, probably the best backhand on earth.
Yeah.
And then Lincoln Taylor, one of the best surfers to come out of Stradbroke Island behind Ethan Ewing.
And he won the heat quite easily too.
Yeah, he won the heat, but no one put up a heat under 10.
No.
So like that's an over 35s heat.
Yeah, it's crazy. We run pretty deep over here in Oz. We've got so many underground guys, and then not even underground, but just people that have been around the scene and know what's up, and yeah, you look at that, like Ricardo Christie, he's not long off the tour, you know, like he didn't have a massive stint, but he would have been there in the last 10 years, and now he's surfing for Kira in the Strati Assault, or sorry, Strati Invitational. So it's pretty cool. And obviously Jade Thompson, he's with the HPC now, or the Surfing Australia, doing
Early
coaching.
Early club, that one.
Yep. So look, there's we've got some pedigree over here, and yeah, we do. All these clubs run so deep. You rock up and you're like, oh, I've got this club. Like, I don't know where they're from or whatever. You might not have heard of them. And then you look at their list of surfing and you're like, oh, I know all of them. So, yeah, we're lucky in that sense. There's always big competition within heats, you know. It's cool.
Yeah. The only thing I was a little, I don't really know because I wasn't really actively looking for it, but it seems like the Groms now are different to Groms back in our day. Like
back when it was the Strati Assault, and
there was lots of assault.
It was Assault by Nature as well. And probably a good thing they changed the name, but yeah, you've had a bit of a baptism of fire there.
That was like the coming of an age of a Grom. Like that's your welcome to the club. That's your welcome to, you know, teenage years and early adulthood. It doesn't really happen as much, or to what I could see or hear of on the island. For example, for myself, I got covered in 4 litres of full cream milk while on the ground. It was like pretty much waterboarding, but with milk. And it was just little things like, Grom, you're washing up. And like when you're staying with 12 people, that's a fucking donkey of a wash up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Or Grom, you're cleaning up, someone's spew over there, like that's you. Like just little shit like that. And it was like, as a Grom, you're kind of like, oh, fuck this. But you learn so much out of it. And that's where like relationships are formed and kind of learn that little bit of grit. I'm allergic to milk now, but even things like there's so many stories of getting duct taped to poles and getting dacked. And there was another one where we were in the board bags, you know, the old board bag tied up over the balcony with the leg rope just hanging there like a big fucking pinata. Sorry, Mum, sorry, Dad, for you know, telling you these stories now, but I survived. But like that was the common thing back then. Like you got on that ferry going, I'm gonna end up duct taped to a pole by 7 p.m. tonight.
You just had to accept it. And
then you see like crew like walk away from their beer, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna smash it now while he's not looking. I don't know. I just feel like that part's kind of died out.
Yeah,
from my observation of the weekend.
Different world we live in now. You can't get away with so much of that stuff anymore.
Nah,
it's a shame because a bit of grommet abuse never really hurt anyone.
Nah.
How'd you fare after your milk incident you got?
Well, like I said, I'm allergic to milk, and still pulling the wedgie out of my ass from a couple of Strati assaults ago. But it shapes you into the human you are today, I feel.
Yeah, I think so. It's character building.
100%. So we were trying to lightly implement that back into the Lee Bar culture this trip. There was a few haircuts.
Yes. Yeah.
We sat some Groms down on a chair and asked some questions. Every wrong answer was a snip of hair, a lock of hair just getting chopped off.
So like trivia questions, or was it like, what do you do? Like,
no, it wasn't even trivia. It was just like, what would you do in this scenario? And they were like, oh, I'll do this. And it was like, nah, wrong answer. To be fair, whatever answer they were going to tell us, we're just going to chop their hair off anyway. So yeah, that's stay tuned for next year. We're going to probably ramp it up a little bit. Yep. I reckon I'll bring back the cocoon.
Yeah, the board bag cocoon.
The board bag cocoon. Yeah, that's always a good one. But
no, I'll hopefully be able to make a reappearance next year and come and start implementing some, not torture. What would you call it?
Light torture.
Light torture.
But nah, yeah, it's like you said, it's a different world that we live in now, but we're going to try and bring it back.
Yeah, I like it. You also viewed some pretty impressive surfing this week via the way of the San Clemente team, or I don't know, what do you call them? The San Clemente Storm crew. Feels like yesterday. A clip running on Stab right now.
Yeah.
It's featuring all the they were 2% crew. They're now like kind of Stecco / Cola Bros / whatever Cole Houshman rides for.
E-bike warriors.
But you had a pretty high opinion of this film, right?
100%. I watched it this morning, and probably the most engaging surf clip I've watched in years.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw it, I think it goes for like 30 minutes. I was kind of like, oh, I don't think I've got 30 minutes on me. I sat down and I didn't get up. Like there was no, and sometimes, I don't know about you, but when you're watching a surf clip, you'll flick between tabs or do something on your phone, and then you like look up and everything. No, this thing was like all attention. Loved it. Features, as you said, all the San Clemente crew. Just a good, honest surf film where the edit's not like crazy edit trying to fucking look like something other than a surf film.
Yeah.
It was just good waves, good people in it, good tunes.
Yeah.
And then when you throw those three things together, that's all you need. I don't need to see some psychedelic fucking UFO spinning around and like beep, 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 beep. I don't like it. I love the old school, just like parts as well. It was made up of like chapters or parts, and it's simple. The recipe is simple. Don't try and bake a cake with 500 fucking ingredients. It will taste shit.
Yeah.
This one, I loved it. Especially the last section. It was
Fiji section.
Fiji Cloud Break, absolutely cooking, paired with 30 Seconds to Mars, the song, The Kill. That combo, I think I was crying whilst hard. I don't know. Take that what you will. But I was just like so emotional watching fucking the boys just get so coned in like the most picturesque blue cloud break ever with that song.
Yeah.
Resonated, it hit me. There was definitely a cry wank involved.
Oh, incredible. Well, I'm yet to watch it. I'm excited to.
You're yet to have your cry wank.
Yeah, well, I saw I've seen bits of it because it's been getting slowly leaked on Instagram, the highlights. I did see one very, very good clip of Crosby surfing cloud break. Three of the biggest back end turns you'll see, and there's a reel which you'll be well aware of by the time this is posted, but there's me reacting to that and him mimicking a certain someone. I think he's been in his basement watching some old clips, some old lost files, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, from what I've seen so far, very good. And Hayden Rogers, supposedly a little bit of a dark horse coming out of this one that probably doesn't get the raps he deserves.
Well, I think he's got a fair bit of a following on Instagram, but like from an international standpoint, I don't think there's enough light on this kid. Like he does the most insane punts.
Yeah.
Like flat lands and just kind of, and what I love is like it's no emotion, just like, and kind of hands, like not handsy or anything, just really good to look at.
Yeah.
Just kind of looks like a modest. He looks like you're fucking the surfer in everyone's hometown that just rips. But he's kind of going to a new level. Like some of the airs he does in this thing is insane. Yeah. And I just think for how good he surfs, there's not that much hype around him.
Yeah.
Compared to the others. I'm not even sure that he chases the dragon of the queue.
I'm just looking him up now, see where he's. It doesn't. I just looked up Hayden Rogers. It didn't even come up as like a lawyer. So, he does have a WSL bio. It would be good to see. Like I really appreciate his surfing. He's done a couple of events this year on the men's QS. So he got a 5th at the Virginia Beach Pro.
So he's just on the regional.
He's just on the regional queue, but there's a few 33rds in there, a few dirty turds and a 25th. But yeah, it'd be cool to see a bit more of him moving forward because there's that big wave of crew coming from San Clemente, and it's like sort of fathered by Kolohe, and then he's got all these little disciples underneath him that are coming through, and Cade Matson, Jet Schilling, Hayden, a few of the other guys as well. I think Cade's got a younger brother who's ripping too. So they're all coming through. It's sort of like the Brazilian Storm, but from San Clemente. And there's some very good surfers. As you know, like we've already got 3 or 4 of them on tour. Griff, Cross, Cole.
Eli Hanneman kind of sits with them, but isn't from there.
No, he kind of hangs with the crew, but isn't from San Clemente.
He's an outcast.
He is. But yeah, Hayden Rogers, like I said, haven't seen the clip yet, but I know for a fact he's a very, very good young surfer.
Check him out. And if you haven't seen it already, it's on Stab Premium. If you don't have Premium, then open your wallet, you stingy bastards. Yeah, definitely worth 31 minutes and 45 seconds of your time.
Yes.
Most definitely. I can't wait for everyone to go stiffy while crying to that last bit. That's the best part. Surfer of the Week, Finley. Mm-hmm. This week's Surfer of the Week is brought to you by Macaroni's Surf Resort and their yearly coaching clinic. So you guys can use Largo in the checkout for 10% off your next stay. So the coaching clinics run from January 9th to March 6th, and they're with Maddie Granger and Oni Omar. So check out their website if you want to look into that further. No better place to get coaching, if you ask me.
Absolutely. And who have we got?
This week, we have gone with Shion Crawford. So he's the Hawaiian that had his debut on the Challenger Series this year. He's actually not going too well, but that's kind of why it came front to mind for me for this week. Just posted an Instagram clip, which is pretty well. It's like a welcome to the North Shore, the winter North Shore for the year. I feel like there's been a lot of clips come out of there the last week. This one here, you can see him stomping one of the biggest backside slob full rotations. We had a little chat off camera. I'm not even sure you can do a backside slob.
No, I don't know what that's called. If anyone wants to reach out, let us know.
I've started calling it the seatbelt.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's a seatbelt, kind of goes from one side to your body to the other, and it's in front of you.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, such a creative move. And for me, it stood out because we've just spent, the last couple of days, a few weeks ago, down at the pool, watching everything in the pool, and to watch the same kind of surfing in the natural elements kind of hits different for me.
Yeah.
But he doesn't stop there. He actually drops a few banger rail turns after this one air he does. So he's kind of displaying that, I'm not over here just as an air guy.
Yeah.
I'm here to show you that I've got a rail game as well. He has one of the most aggressive forehand hacks I've ever seen on a human. So
he's a guy that probably popped into relevance in the last couple of years. He had one of those breakout Hawaiian seasons that we often refer to, where he stomped a number of large airs. A couple of backhand ones come to mind. Just
huge ones.
Monstrous airs. And he, like, for me, when I think of him, it wasn't ever like he's an air guy. Like, I knew he had the crazy frontside carve and throws a lot of water, but I didn't actually know how good he was in the air until that breakout season. And since then, he's just kind of gotten more and more consistent in the air. And to see him drop that clip so early in the season, he's setting himself up for a good Hawaii leg, I guess you can call it. You kind of run from what are we now, October through to probably March at the very latest next year. That's where we end up. And to start off with a bit of a powerhouse clip like that, he's on the right pathway. So cool to see Shion, and hopefully he's a guy that when the Challenger Series rolls over to Pipe, he can lock in a decent result, because he needs one.
If there was a fantasy surf team for the Changers, I reckon a fair few crew would be throwing him in for that up and coming event there.
You'd have to.
Well done, sir. You are surfer of the week.
Now we move on to
Saquarema.
Saquarema, and bit of a licorice all sorts of an event. Started off fun waves, ended up horrific, but it's kind of what you expect when you go here. It was very inconvenient as someone trying to ingest this content and watch heats, because they seem to run it until, like, I don't know, they'd run it until like the 2 heats to go in like the men's round, and then they'd start it up again. And then it was really hard to get any continuity. Like, they'd be splitting rounds up, and it was hard to find out where you were. Watched a bit. Obviously watched all the replays also. But yeah, it was a really tough event to watch. And there was a few like they put it on hold. And then for us here, like, I think the first call was at about 9:30, 10 o'clock. So by the time they put it on hold for an hour, you're suddenly creeping into, well, for most people, they're asleep by then. For me, it's getting ready to go to bed.
You're halfway through your day.
Yeah. But even for myself, like, I didn't get to watch as much live as I would have liked to. In saying that, though, I think the right people got results. It's unpredictable. You got to be a very versatile surfer to make heats here and be good in a range of different conditions. And we end up with Sammy Pupo as the winner. You took the coward's approach and stole him from me, which I've picked him nearly every event this year.
Sammy Poops.
But we did pretty good across the board. So in terms of our selections, Zach had Sammy Pupo and Geordie Lawler. So we obviously had a few more, but I'm only including the good ones.
Yeah.
So Sammy Pupo, Geordie Lawler, first and third. I had Eli Hanneman, Oscar Berry, second and third. So we picked the semi-finalists between the two of us.
I picked none of the women's.
Well, I picked them, but I'm not very happy with. I'm not proud of myself because I picked Yolanda and Tia. Yolanda won, as she's been doing, and Tia came fifth. So yeah, pretty good from us. And a little side note here, we touched on when Cole Houshman won at Saquarema on the tour this year. We kind of touched on how good of a form line the Narrabeen event has been for.
You were making the illusion. You were alluding, to that. Those waves are quite similar.
Yes, and it seems to hold strong here because we didn't have an event at Narrabeen this year, but at the 2024 Sydney Surf Pro, 3 of the 8 quarterfinalists from the men's ended up with first, second, and third here at Saquarema, which is pretty good form line if you're reading into that. So Sammy, Eli, Hanneman, and Geordie Lawler all they got first, second, and third. And Geordie Lawler obviously being the local boy, so he spent a fair bit of time at Narrabeen, and it's clearly working for him here. So just something to keep in mind moving forward. If they do end up having any more events at Narrabeen, maybe when you're picking your fantasy team or something, you go for a couple crew that have succeeded at Saquarema, because I reckon it'd work vice versa.
So what you're saying is if you're about to head to Saquarema, you head to Narrabeen instead.
You'd probably be far better off going to Narrabeen.
100%. Yeah. I guess what do you think it is? Like backwashy. You can actually it's a predominant left, but you get the right back into the rip bowl.
Yeah.
There's obviously the same setup there, the right going back in towards the pools there. They are pretty well cut and copy.
I think as well, it's not so much the look of the waves, but it's also the guys that are doing well. They're like Geordie Lawler, Cole Houshman. They've succeeded at both. It's probably the type of waves they're looking for, and it's being able to read that lineup and see which ones are going to double up and see which ones are going to be too fast. And you know what I mean? Like having a good read on the lineup, it maybe is comparable between the two locations. Again, I don't know. I've only surfed Narrabeen. I haven't surfed Saquarema, so it'd be hard to call. But it is, when you do go and surf Narrabeen, it does take you a little bit to get used to that wave and finding the waves that are actually going to hit the bank right. So maybe it's a bit of that. Surprises though from this event, there was a couple. I'd like to start off firstly with our guy Mikey McDonough. So a round of 16 finish here, his best result this season. I think he's had another round of 16 also, but equal best result. This is about as far away from Lakes Point as it gets. So not a wave I necessarily had him picked to do well at, but we're pretty happy he did, because he's jumped up 11 spots into 29th on the rankings. Obviously not looking amazing to qualify at this stage, but for him, he'd almost be turning his attention to making sure he's inside that top 20 for next year. For sure.
That's where the shift would be probably at this point. Just going, okay, look, last year I was chasing for the qualification for the TT. This year's just, you'd think he's just learning. Yeah. And at this point, his focus should be just getting above the Challenger Series cut line.
Yeah.
So he's got it for another run next year.
Yeah, for those that don't know, if you finish inside the top 20, 20th to 11th don't qualify for the tour, but they do qualify for the Challenger Series next year. So it just means that he won't have to come back, go and do all the stupid QS events that are scattered in various parts of the Australasian region and spend an awful lot of money to then get back onto the Challenger, because it's not going to be running as smoothly as it has the last few years, where they kind of can jump off mid-year through the QS and then they go straight onto the Challenger. It's now like the way the tours are set up, I imagine it's going to be back to, it's going to be a 2-year process rather than doing it in 1 year.
So run parallel.
Yeah. So he'd be pretty happy with that. Like, just get him back in the mix. He's got 2 events to make something of it, and we'll back him in. The other person was Cal Costa. Hopefully got his name right this time, because we butchered it fairly heavily previously. But
that's all right. He got a shout out for free, so he's still he hasn't paid his invoice, but we'll chase that up.
Well, if he gave us a follow, so that's enough for us, I think.
That'll do.
He was one of our very first surfers of the week. You might remember him from a backside area he did in a wave pool.
I think he didn't pay us because we had about 800 followers at that point.
Yeah, maybe.
So he was probably like, who are these dweebs in Australia just talking about me? He mightn't even understand what we're even talking about.
He would have just heard me just doing 15 different pronunciations of his name and getting none of them right. But he pops his head up here with the wild card for this event. Looks every bit as lively and versatile as the rest of the surfers from that part of the world. He ends up in the quarterfinals, losing out narrowly to Sammy Pupo, who eventually wins the event. But keen to see more of this bloke at this level, because I think he's a guy that if he can get on the Challenger, he surfs so good. I think he could be someone who could come on and qualify.
For sure. I've actually, since we did Surfer of the Week with him, we followed him on our account, and I actually watched what he's been doing in the background. And he goes to like these, like maybe a QS 1000 or equivalent, even just, might not even be a QS, just something not even WSL associated. Could have been a board riders.
Yeah.
Fucked if I know. And this one comes to mind, and it's like 1 foot slop, like almost bodyboardable closeout shorey. And they're just taking off and hucking into the wind. And this guy is literally doing full rotations on 1 foot shitty closeouts that you would find it hard to even just do like a lip line floater. You know those closeout shorties that like explode? Just
crunchy, gross.
Yeah, like Waimea shorey. And he's just going out to the flats and just landing like full spin straight away.
Yeah.
He is incredible in all conditions.
He's really good. So fingers crossed for him that he can start getting a few more showings on the Challenger, because I think he could be one to qualify.
Yep, for sure.
Another one, not a surprise, because I actually picked him in my selections for this event.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wanted to give a bit of a mention to Oscar Berry. So he's come such a long way in the space of a couple of years. Not a kid who was ever really touted to sort of have this level of success in surfing. Plenty of people around him in his division that were marked above him. And he's just been silently improving in the shadows, waiting to strike. And he's come out and done exactly that this season. Pretty similar to Cal Robson's story. This year, his results are 17th, 3rd, 9th, 9th, 3rd.
I've heard from the surrounds around this event, he's just walking around going to crew, what the fuck is going on? That's all he's been saying for the last week is, what's going on? Because he's pretty well, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm fairly sure he's going to get a start.
He's Largo official, mate. I'm locking him in. We'll get to that. We got our predictions for who's on and who's not, but for mine, he's locked in for next year's tour. I've even been some little DM discussions with him surrounding what number he's going to be rocking next year, and sounds like it could have something to do with the postcode for Yamba, but we'll stay tuned there.
69.
It's not far off, but it's close. So those results has him sitting in 3rd place in the rankings, and I'm, like I said, I do have him featuring on next year's World Tour, and literally couldn't have happened to a better bloke. Like we said,
fucking oath, man.
Say this about Connor, like amazing bloke. All the good things are happening. Same story here. Like he's such a legend. He has time for everyone, and I could not be happier for him.
There was a time I didn't like him.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I was versing him one of those online competitions. It was like Surfing Australia, maybe. No, Oakley, something where like you post a clip, then you go the next round, then you go the next round. And we got to like the 3rd round, and there was only 4 rounds, and it was like man on mans, you post a 90-second clip, and whoever got the most like reshares, likes, and views won. And I was
like Quicksilver, like
it could have been King of the Groms, actually.
Groms.
I think it was King of the Groms then. And I was paired up with Oscar, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking beat him, and he fucking beat me.
He got you,
right? And I was on quickie, so I was like, oh, what?
Yeah. So you didn't even know him.
No,
you're just a keyboard warrior.
Didn't know him for a Barasat,
and you hated him.
Hated it. He robbed me of my victory.
Well, guess what? He's laughing now. So
he is.
He really is. So good on you, Oscar. Move on to the ladies now. No one really surprising in this one. The only thing I will say is and I will butcher this, Gonzalez Echabari, Echabari, I don't know. That's their surnames. The sisters.
Echabari, wow.
Yeah, they made the semis together. So they had a semi-final heat. Not overly familiar with these girls, but it was cool to see them two making the semis. And Annette, which is one of the sisters, moves herself 15 spots up the rankings into a qualifying position. So
really?
Yes. So good on her.
Wow. I definitely
Well,
I won't comment.
Who did she knock out? Amuro Tezuki. So I don't know if that's any
Japanese surfer.
Yeah. And Laura Raup.
I think she's is that the Rip Curl?
Oh no, it was Laura Raup she knocked out. So another one you weren't particularly happy with. So
she's German?
Brazilian.
She's
But the
German.
Echabari girls are Basque country.
Basque.
Yeah. So
yep.
That's kind of no real surprises there for me. And the girls, we ended up with Yolanda winning, who I selected just because she keeps winning.
Yeah.
And she continued winning.
She was paying $1.10 to win on some betting account, I'm not sure, but
yeah. She can't do it. She cannot put a foot wrong this year, much to Zach's horror. But
Nah, look, it's not my flavour, but good on her. I'm not going to say that someone doesn't deserve. She's doing everything that she's been told to do. So
yeah,
I'm not going to say there's any blood doping or anything gnarly going on there. So
no false accusations to.
nah, I'd love to throw one in there, but it wouldn't be fair or nice. So well done to Yolanda Hopkins.
Yep. So move into a couple of disappointments now, and this is, we probably said this with the WSL, the championship tour event here, and it's really hard to pick disappointments here because the lineups are, it's so hard to read, and there was a couple though, and we might have run through them last week, but I'll just run through a few names. So in the round of 64, a few notable dismissals: Chippo, Cowley, Matt McGillivray, Hiroto O'Hara, Jackson Bunch, Morgan Siblick, Ryan Callan, and Ian Gavea. They all lost in the round of 64. And then this,
which is first round for some of them.
It's first round for probably the majority of them. And then we moved now into that was kind of where we left off. Then they continued running since our last episode. So few disappointments from the round of 32 onwards. Levi Slauson, I really can't imagine how he'd be feeling right now. He's got that win under his belt, and I wouldn't have been surprised to see him either win or register another good result here. But he ends up falling out in his second round heat, and he's going into pipe having a win, but then after that, nothing better than around a 32 finish.
He should be messaging Geordie Lawler and Mikey Medina saying, what am I in for the next two events?
It's going to get desperate for him in these back two events, and I would not want to be heading into pipe needing a result.
No, if there's one place where I feel like all these surfers, the top 80 that are on the Challenger Series, they're all good enough to win at Eurocera, the Goldie, like all these other places, but a lot of them aren't good enough to win at pipe if it's macking.
See, if it was like, so I'm not as worried about Chippo. He's had the win also, but a few shockers around that, had the injury also. But he's a guy coming in a pipe that he would be looking at that as an event to get a quarterfinal at worst.
Especially he's got time to heal.
He's got time to heal, and he's also got time in the saddle out there, which is invaluable.
Oh, his nuts are huge.
He
got kangaroo nuts.
He does, man.
Coming from West Aussie, Southwest Aussie, and spent a lot of time up north as well, where a wave that it doesn't mimic pipe, but just as fucking scary if you ask me.
And the takeoff as well is just,
it's got a flat bottom.
Scary. Yeah, no, he's all over it. He eats that for breakfast. You had an issue with Freddie Moraes.
I have an issue with Freddie Moraes, yes. Didn't make it out of, not even round of 64, round of 80. For an ex-CT veteran, I didn't pick him to win this event, but I thought, like, hey, you get a fucking heat in or two, surely. Not too much to ask. As Jake Patterson would say. Where the fuck did that come from? I love that. In 11 months of podcasting with you, that is single-handedly the best thing I've heard you say.
I'm going to bleep it and people can guess what it was.
No, that'd be criminal to bleep it. If you're hearing that this is bleeped, then Finley's going to I'm going to slap him in his gooch.
It's getting bleeped.
It's not getting bleeped. But yeah, so I wasn't happy with Freddie. Now he's going red because he knows that everyone's going to say.
It's not making
everyone knows that he said. In theory, you're correct. For some.
Next one.
Not me and you though. Mateus Hurdy. That is a bit of a bummer for him.
Disappointing.
For his year, he's had ups and downs, and you just think hometown advantage. Well, not hometown, but home soil, we'll call it. Flying the Brazilian flag. I feel like when these Brazos get over there, they just go this next step. Evident by semi-poops.
Yep.
But Mateus, I don't know, just kind of missed the mark on this one.
He is a guy, he's had starts in the CT event there and has done really well. Maybe even a really high score. Maybe not a 10, but he did a backflip one year.
He did, yes.
May have been for a 10, I can't remember, but it was a really high score. He's had really good results there at the highest level. And for me, I would have been thinking quarterfinals minimum, similar to Chippo at pipe. Like this is kind of his pipe. And that's definitely a fail for him in this event. He is sitting pretty good in the rankings still. So
yeah, but anyone under the top three, it's all kind of could get shuffled around pretty easily. Like you throw 10,000, two more 10,000 points is in there. and it
Yeah,
could get.
I've got
mixed
more
around
on that later because I actually don't think that's the case. I think there's a few more locked in. But he was probably the other guy that I was like, oh, bit of a shocker. We also had, and I forgot to check who asked the question, so I'm sorry in advance, but it was a good question. And I did see a person doing a video and I couldn't really understand it. I think there were some subtitles there, but I was struggling to understand. Essentially, though, it was very evident he was complaining about the George Pitar and Wesley Duntus judging situation.
Oh, was that on Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah, someone made a reel on Instagram blasting GP.
And
We've sent him a hateful message.
We
No,
haven't.
I'm kidding.
We haven't, but we're here to correct him.
And justify.
The
jury has spoken.
We are the jury.
Fuck off with your reel and leave GP alone.
We are the jury and the judge, and what we say is final. And
Definitely. We are the best. We're perfect. We are fucking perfect. If you're out there saying that we're not, then go fuck yourself.
Yeah. I can see why people may be getting up in arms about this, and especially those that are friends of Wesley or fellow countrymen of Wesley, because I'm happy to concede that Wesley did the best turn in the heat on his low 5. He got a 5.07. He took off, did a layback snap, but really like almost like a clayback. Kicked the tail ride out, recovered, and then proceeded to grovel and do a little foamy reverse on the inside. The issue there is you're comparing it to George's waves, and he's still done a big first turn. Probably not as explosive as Wesley's, but still really good in its own right. And then he's gone straight into a second and third turn on a wave that holds its shape and power. If Wesley comes out of that layback straight into another significant move, it's going right up the scale, probably into 7s. Like if he combos that up and does a really good last turn, like 7s all day, that would have been fine by me. And for those complaining, like, you got to think of it this way. The judges have essentially given him a 5 for that one turn because he has a lot of downtime after that. He's still trying to find the power source to get him onto the inside. Has probably a 10-second downtime and then does like a little reverse that I can do at Pub Shorey. So, and the judges absolutely hate him. It's pretty well, you may as well just do a chop up. Doesn't score. So that 5 is for that one initial first turn. Both of GP's scores came from good wave selections and it allowed him to link 3 turns together back to back, no downtime. And that is exactly what the judges are looking for, especially in waves that are less than ideal. Speed, power, flow, combination of major turns, and that is lacking heavily on Wesley's wave. Hence why George gets the better of that exchange, the better of that heat, and we're more than happy to say when the judges have got it wrong, but it's not one of those occasions here. So,
what are your thoughts on throwing some more subjectiveness into the judging criteria in the sense of style? I saw something, someone might have commented, it was actually about Yolanda, my good friend. They were saying, look, the style's not there, but the style's actually not a part of the judging criteria, so it's kind of voided in a way. Do you think there should be some element of style? Because in this case with Mr. Dantes and GP, most people from all nationalities, I have to put that out there, would probably say one just looked a little nicer, a little more refined than the other.
Yeah.
Why can't that world live in the WSL judging rulebook?
It's a tough one because if we're scoring on style, I guess like this could be applied to anything. Like if we're scoring, you go to Chopes and you're scoring on barrel rides, and Jack Robinson's like the best to do it, you know. So he has an advantage there, and to the same degree, if we start scoring on style, then maybe that is fair. But I don't know if it works, just because it's really subjective to say who has a good style and who doesn't. Like Mikey February is someone that people look at and go, he's got a really nice style, and I look at it and I can see where people are coming from, but it's not my favorite surfing to watch. Like if he's on tour and those people are judging that really admire his style, then he's going to score really well. But for me, I'm looking at that. It doesn't have the same oomph. There's even like an Alejo Munez, whose style is far worse, but his surfing's, in my opinion, far better.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know.
Like maybe we could throw like a 10% in there. I'm not saying like a 70-30 or something, but like a 10%er.
Well, I was thinking as well, like, because in regards to this heat, like, and not even just this heat, just heats in general, when we have these moments at the end of heats where someone's relying on a score and it could go either way, I was like, is it better off not dropping a score? The judges just go back through the heat and they go, okay, well, just for sake of the argument here, it's like, I don't know, John versus Gabby, say. And John has 2 9s and Gabby has, I don't know, a 9 himself. And then his last wave's really good also. And they're going, this is a flip of the coin. I think the best way to do it is almost like cut out the controversy. Just have your 5 judges in there go, is that score enough? And if you have like majority, I think you don't even drop a score. I think you just go, sweet.
Well, I think they do that in a way anyway by giving it the nod or the brr.
Essentially, but then you just get these people like looking at decimals and stuff and it wigs people out. And I think that the best way to do it, and you're right, they do this, but they go back through the heat and go, who should win this heat?
Who won the heat?
And then that informs their decision.
That tips the scale.
It does. And I think because it's hard to a wave at the start of the heat, if that same wave had happened at the end of the heat, it probably gets scored differently. You know?
For sure.
So I think people get caught up in the decimals and the numbers and stuff. I reckon you just get rid of that and just go, especially for like a final or something, just go, Gabby won, you know?
Unanimous vote.
Yeah. I don't know. Like it's a bit rogue, but people do, like someone loses by 0.1, but then you go back in the heat and you're like, well, probably their first wave should have been 0.5 higher. So yeah, I don't know.
Just a bit of a sidebar. Do you think 2 waves can have the exact same score?
Well, like, no.
Same.
But then they do.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's
frustrating.
Yeah. You can't, like, one wave is probably slightly bigger. And then if you do the exact same surfing, but on a slightly bigger wave, then that wave's got to be worth more.
I've been saying it. They should move to the 100-point score.
Yeah.
So then you've got 10 different points within a 6 to a 7. Yeah. 61, 62, 63, 64, and so on.
Yeah.
So much easier to break it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rather than going, that's a 6-5 and that's a 6-5. It's like, well, one went left, one went fucking right to start with.
Mm-hmm.
How do you... They're 2 different things. Anyway, won't get into it.
So that's our take on the Wesley situation.
Yes. Now, I had one more other thing that I wanted to run by you.
I haven't checked these numbers either, so...
they have not been fact-checked. We need Scrapatisse here to be our little behind the scenes.
I don't know how good he is at maths.
He does have a law degree. He doesn't. He definitely doesn't. He has no degree, but God love him.
Degree in...
I just saw some numbers on the WSL website. So if anyone's unhappy with these, then just go to WSL because that's where I got them from. It's secondhand information at this point, if you're listening. So currently, right now, we have in first place on the rankings, Yolanda Hopkins. She has made $42,000 in earnings only. Only earnings, not fucking everything else like everyone else cries about. She's sitting on a total of 33,000 points.
Yeah.
Capiche?
Mm-hmm.
First place on the rankings on the men's side is Eli Hanneman.
Mm-hmm.
He has made 22.6K in earnings.
Mm-hmm.
And he has 22,000 points.
Yes.
That's not half, but the points are almost, it's over half. So there's not half between 33,000 and 22. That's not half. That's over halfway.
Yes.
But the pay is halved.
Mm. Yeah. Well, it's because in this situation, they're rewarding more heavily wins. So Yolanda has a win. She also has second place and she has a third place. Mm-hmm. So they're going to factor those in. That's going to net you more money at the end of the day. You look at Eli, he's got a second place, a third place, but then after that, he's got a couple of, like maybe, I don't know what that is, a fifth maybe, and a couple of 1,700 point results. So they do, the prize monies are skewed more towards a win.
Yep. Or
a second place even. And Yolanda with that 10,000 points for her win at Brazil here would be skewing her in. We saw it on the tour this year. The girls made more money than the lads, and that's because the girls at the top were so dominant and they just cleaned up. Whereas the girls down below didn't do as well.
It's more exaggerated in the Challenger. Like Yolanda is miles ahead.
Mm.
It just feels weird that the men's field is so stacked, and this year, I'm just being blatantly honest, the women's field is perhaps not as stacked.
Yeah.
as previous years.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just hard to look at those numbers and think, is that okay to say? That's fine.
Yeah.
I just don't think so.
Nah, and that will, like we've touched on, this will level out over the next few years as the girls surfing gets better and better as it's doing. And the other thing to think about as well there, I can't imagine Yolanda's getting paid that much off her sponsors. Whereas
I've been trying to figure that puzzle piece out, Finley, because
she rocks to the O'Neill sticker 2/3 of the board, or
yeah, there's about 4 other brands above it that I don't know what they are.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm not sure.
I'd say, look, if you look at what Eli's getting paid and what Yolanda's getting paid, I'd say that'd be a fair chunk. Like Eli, I'd imagine is still far in front of Yolanda. But you're right in that the men's field is so stacked top to bottom. I'd argue probably there's 20 girls on the tour that are probably capable of qualifying, and then even, on the Challenger that are capable of qualifying, and then even probably less succeeding on tour. And on the men's side of things, like I'd argue your top 50 would come and have a really good crack on the men's tour. So
For sure, and that's what I mean. Like it makes sense, and I don't want to take away from women's surfing. We've been blasting it all year about how we're actually here to support women's surfing, but the disparity between the caliber and what it takes to make money on these tours, I just can't get over the indifference between the two, the men and the women.
And Lucas Vincente, we got sent it in our DMs today, made a reel similar to ours where he discussed the costs of competing, and it was actually very similar to ours. I'm not sure if you saw our one, but
Send him an invoice.
yeah, just send us some cash, brother. But no, he does a very good breakdown, and it's from someone who's on the inside as well, which is even more insightful. Let's do a rankings check though.
Sorry, just got one more point to throw back in there.
Yeah.
I just think if you look at the men's tour, Challenger Series tour, you're looking at all these names and they've all kind of been there before, like Lobby, Jacob Wilcox. You go down even further, like Jacko Baker, who's at like 35th or something. There's like the Jaddies, these names that everyone's known for the last 10 years, all fighting for that $22,000. Like, it's dismal. And then you go to the women's and like there's 16-year-old girls that are new to this getting the same. It's just so far.
It's big. It's a big gap.
It's a huge gap.
Emai DeVault, 46. He's had probably, I don't know, 3+ years on tour.
Like, why aren't the Challenger Series girls' names a little more prominent in, like, stamped in our brain? Like, are they all just completely new names? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not, like, different countries will have different, you know, someone will be bigger in a different country than others, but like everyone knows who Wellesley Dantas is.
Yeah.
Like, because they've been around for so long. Like
Wellesley,
same thing. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I just feel like the women's side, there's so many fresh names and they're at the top now. It's like, where did this come from?
I think it's because, like, you see such a quick progression of the girls from the ones that are the real deal. Erin Brooks, Katie Simmers, Bella Kenworthy, they expect it themselves. They're straight up, straight in, straight out. They go on the tour. Whereas you end up with a few, like on the men's side, there's such a big shift each year. Like 10 guys come on, 10 guys come off, but the 10 guys that come off, they're world-class surfers. Whereas on the ladies, you kind of have like this thing where the good girls stay up there and the lesser ones come off. And then, like, you see India Robinson, like she's just stuck inside the top 7, but she's struggled to get back on tour. Who else have we got? Sophie McCulloch, she's spent a bit of time on the tour. She's struggling. I just think there's not enough of that top tier level of surfer on the lady side as compared to the men's, which is why we're just seeing this kind of, I don't know, it's almost like a stalemate where you get all of the good girls go up, and then you end up with this bunch that are kind of like, they're thereabouts, but they're probably not quite cut out for the tour. But that will, as we get this new generation of girls that are coming through, which like Eden Wallers, Mila Coco Browns, Sierra Kerrs, all of those ones that are coming up now, I think that'll start sorting itself out naturally. But right now it's a bit, I don't know, it's not depressing, but it's just there's not much excitement that is
It's hard to get around.
Yeah, people aren't probably buzzing to watch the girls qualifiers for next year.
And the reason I bring it up is like I'm trying to actively think of ways in which we can collectively improve, not us two, but as a population.
Yeah. Well, Tia Zabrowski, she's the one. She's the girl that's coming on that everyone's got eyes on. But she's another Erin Brooks who will probably go up there. She won't fall off now. She'll be there.
Yeah.
And it's not really an issue with those that top, whatever it is, 15 or 14 surfers, however many stay on tour after the cut, which will be more now because they're getting rid of the cut. There's not really an issue with them because they're all the top tier and they've found their spot, which is cool. But it's just those that are coming through. There's just this turnaround every year where they go on. It's like a revolving door. They're on and then they're off again. And they really find it hard to break through.
Sure. Yeah.
But
that makes sense.
I can't answer. I don't know the answer to that question.
Well, you wrapped up the disparity between Eli and Yolanda quite well, so thank you. So kind of look like an idiot, but I'm pretty used to that, so we'll run with it.
No, it's good. I'm glad you found some numbers. You've run with them, and we've come to
You've debunked them.
Yeah, it's good. But rankings check. So let's do girls first.
Okay.
Yolanda in first place, Tia Zabrowski second place. They are locked and loaded for next year's tour.
They're actually equal first.
They have exactly the same results.
Yes.
So they're first and second, but they're first. Then we have Sally Fitz in third, Francisca Vaselko fourth, fifth place Nadia Aristabe, sixth place Annette Gonzalez at Shabari, and seventh place India Robinson. So not much has changed there. You've basically just had India and Annette move up into the top 7. And the rest of them have been there all year.
I'm looking at Annette's. So she's jumped 15 spots. So she's had a pretty good result.
It's a third.
And then what was that? That's
like a 2.
Like around 32 maybe?
Yeah.
Like, this goes to show how low the bottom half of that field is points wise. Like, she jumped 15 spots by just getting one good result, really.
But she got a second here. That's why she moved in.
That's what I mean. Just like that kind of points, that plus 15, we'll call it, probably wouldn't have happened on the men's.
No, well, like there's guys sitting outside the top 10 right now that have wins.
Yes.
So I don't think you'd see that on the ladies. So yeah, we've locked in Tia and Yo-Yo. I'm happy to lock Sally in. There's a massive gap between her and third and fourth place. It's about 6,000 point gap.
Has there been a bigger gap between first and seventh ever?
I don't know. They've run away with it well and truly. And I'm also happy to lock Sally in on the account that she's going to have experience at Pipe, and that's going to be very valuable for her. She's going to seal her spot, so she'll stay in. The only thing I'll say though about Pipe is I think it's going to be a real lucky dip. You're going to have at least one local wild card, maybe 2, depending on who rocks up.
They usually get about 9, but anyway. Yep.
Yeah. Who probably will win the event just based on they're way better there than everyone else. And then...
Can I just add?
Yeah.
There'll probably be a bunch of CT surfers in it too.
Potentially, yeah, getting some practice. So that makes it even more difficult.
Well, it's any opportunity to go surf Pipe with 4 people in a Rashi. Everyone's jumping at the bit for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like in the men's, if Seth isn't doing it, then it'd be wild.
John will be there, I reckon.
John, like the line to get in this event will be astronomical.
Yeah. Kelly will probably be there too.
So I'm thinking like maybe like a Vaheen or something.
Well, like a Vaheen will have no problems. What's her name? Volcom girl from wins Pipe every year, makes the final. Sorry, I forgot her name.
Oh, another
Moana Jones Wong.
Yeah.
She will be in that event. I imagine she will probably win. So there's first place points gone.
I can see like a Katie going and doing this.
Potentially, yeah. And this is an event who those that are willing to have a crack will be rewarded. I foresee heat totals of less than 5 points progressing through heats, and those 5 points will be made up of someone who's willing to take off and pack one that they probably won't make, but they're willing to go. They will make heats in this event.
How many helmets do you reckon you'll see?
How many people in the draw?
Like 80. No, sorry, in the men's there's 80, in 32 for Challenger. 32, full 32.
And I think that's a smart choice. I'm not ripping on helmets there. I think it's a good decision. If I went to surf Pipe,
No, I just thought I'd bring it up because in the past, the women's have used the helmets when it's like rippable.
Yeah. As soon as it starts properly pitting, I'm chucking a helmet on, I reckon.
I reckon we're only a bee stick away from a mandate for helmets, just quietly. But anyway.
Yeah. It's probably. I think it should be. It's based on some of the injuries that have come out of pipe. So yeah, happy to lock in probably up to Sally, and then beyond that, I'll leave it. I don't want to touch that.
Sure.
On the men's side, first place, Eli Hanneman. Second place, Samuel Pupo. Third place, Oscar Berry. Fourth place, Luke Thompson. Fifth place, George Pittar. Sixth, Callie Vast. Seventh, Mateus Hurdy. Eighth, Liam O'Brien. Ninth, Jacob Wilcox. 10th, Winter Vincent.
So good to see the Aussie flag predominantly.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, it's more than any other flag.
Yeah, which is
collectively.
Which has been rare for us.
Has been. It's usually the green and bluey.
Yeah.
Mostly green, a little bit of blue, a little bit of white stars in the middle there.
Who are we going to, locking in wise in terms of points for safety? I'm going to say 20,000 points, you're locked in. So that gets us to Luke Thompson.
It's usually the rule of thumb, year upon year average.
Yeah. So this is me. I haven't done any maths on this, but I'm just going to say you got 20,000 points, you're in. So Luke Thompson in at fourth, he's locked in. Happy to call it there. Come for me if he doesn't make it, but I'm fairly confident that he's going to be on tour next year. Then we move on. I look at who's in the 19,000s. Got George Pittar, Callie Vast, and Mateus Hurdy. Georgie Pittar and Cowley will collect results in the last two events, especially Cowley at Pipe, and I reckon George either at Pipe or at Newcastle.
Mm-hmm.
They're both thrown away scores of 700 points, which is absolutely nothing. So They will better that in the next two events. They will lock themselves in. So that takes us down to sixth place, locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Then we've also got Mateus in at seventh with 19,460 points. He's an interesting one. He's sat on that amount of points, but has been fairly consistent all year, which usually is a good thing. But then when you're trying to better results at the end of the year, it's actually a bad thing. He's got 1,700 points, which is a round of 32, which is 2 heat progressions for him. But then he will have to better that. So he's going to have to make the round of 16, which he's more than capable of doing. He's done it a number of times this year, but don't really see it happening at Pipe. And pressure does all sorts of things to people. So if he's going to Newcastle needing a round of 16, I'm not sure. In saying that, he's on 19,000 points already. He could be okay, but I'm not willing to lock him in just yet. I'm gonna, in terms of my safety rankings, I'm gonna cull it at Cowley and at 6. I think that means we're gonna have 4 spots remaining heading into Pipe and Newcastle.
Jacob's gonna get one.
Jacob will get one because he's got a 600 and a 700 points. So he's going to throw away that 600. He's, as we've touched on, he's probably going to make a quarterfinals at Pipe minimum. So that'll get him up to. Yeah, it's going to get him up to your 19,000 at least.
I don't know what I'll do if he doesn't.
But in saying that, I'm not going to lock him in because he's in 9th. And like it's not enough points. Like anything can happen. So
he is the equivalent of a disciple that's walked through the fucking desert for 40 days with no water.
He's so good.
He has been pipped at the post more than any other surfer on the planet, I would say.
I'm just scared. Like Mateus and Jacob both were looking so good. Now they're like, Mateus is looking better, but they're not locked in.
Yeah, Jacob's looking good. It's just the injury.
The injury cooked him.
Big cloud over that at the moment.
But look at so Mateus 19,500, say. Jacob's on 16,500, which is a big gap.
Big gap, but so easy to climb. It's
attainable for Jacob. He won Newcastle.
Yes.
So he's already won there, and then Pipe is it's his playground.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lock him in, but I'm pretty confident he'll.
I'm gonna lock him in.
Yeah, but he's in. I don't know if we can. Well, you can lock him in. I'm just saying in terms of safety as of now, 6th place. They're all in. Beyond that, anything can happen.
Yes,
let's run with that.
Yep.
But yeah, that's kind of where we're at with it all.
We've got a bit of a hiatus for the Challenger Series as well as the Championship Tour.
Yeah, Benny Oborn, who's an avid listener, said in our question box, what's going to fill the void? And I was like, I'm not sure. I actually don't know. There's World Juniors, but as Zach said, we're like comes back in January, so we'll come back then as well. We'll just have a few months off. How's that sound?
Nah, not happening. We got shit brewing in the background. Don't you worry. Shit is brewing.
There's stuff coming, and one of those being a interview with Beagle and Huey, which is we've touched on. We've hyped up. It's probably going to come out next week.
Yep. And then after that, we've got an extensive list of guests that we've locked in. So we won't let too many out of the bag until it gets a bit closer in case one of them gets COVID and cancels. But yeah, some CT guys, ex-CT guys, just some good all-round humans.
And to answer your question, Ben, what's going to fill the void between now and then is us.
Yes.
We are the void fillers.
And hopefully we're going to do better than WSL's Instagram, because I can already tell they're panicking. They're just starting to repost a bunch of weird stuff that they're probably going to repost something not even surfing related soon. I think that's where they're going.
They'll just repost the Andy Kelly heat from J-Bay from 20
Oh,
years
yeah.
ago.
I forgot about all the heritage heats that are about to get blasted on socials.
They'll go back through the vault and pull a few out. But we will be here throughout that time. So fear not. We'll be here each Wednesday or Thursday to give you your surfing fix. So
here to caress your ears on your commute to work.
But that's really all we've got for you this week.
Yep. Stay tuned for next one. Big one next one.
Yeah. Big one, like different to what we normally talk about, and a different layout and setup, but arguably as interesting, if not more interesting. You'll want to hear this one.
Just testosterone meets a microphone.
Yeah, really. Absolutely. But stay tuned for that next week. It's coming. Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.
See ya.